Jason, from an actor's perspective, what are you looking at in terms of old footage? What are you studying?
Everything. Everything I get my hands on. One of the best things I got my hands on was some old sailing footage of Ted and Joe sailing the Wairoas, the boats, that they sailed on CHAPPAQUIDDICK. Just seeing them that day on the phone, Ted on the phone, in the gear, young dudes looking, Ray-Bans. Joe was smoking a cigarette, sailing the boat. You're looking for something that captures, them when they got you're looking for both, the public one, the unguarded ones, the little moments, the mannerisms, the funeral. There's so much on these guys, the whole family. I watched a lot of and read a lot of the other brothers, not just Ted. I wasn't just go for Ted. I went for the others. I went for the family. I went for pictures in that of Joe. How to behave around your father. There's so much there, and in particular the speeches. Some of the greatest speeches ever said and written, particularly by Bobby.
When did you know you wanted to be an actor?
When did I want to be an actor? I think when I decided I'd rather sit at home and watch movies than go to university. I thought, there's something in this. And then I really wanted to be it when I couldn't. You realise that you really want to be an actor when you can't quite get there on auditions. You're not quite getting a job and you just want it. You can feel it. I want to get in that door.
We hear about the character's arc. So when you're about to go into production, how much are you thinking of that? And what was Ted Kennedy's arc?
A lot. Ted Kennedy's arc is huge. You're thinking about that a lot. I mean, of course, the best obviously is you shoot, in sequence. So you go from one to the other, but you never do that. So you're having to make sure that, if I'm ending here, I'm starting there. You're trying to give it the most it can, so just repeating it. So you're really plotting that. John and I did a lot of work on that, going over the other scenes, not just rehearsing them, but just talking over them, rewording them, playing with them, discussing them. And then Ted's arc is a massive one. He starts off and he goes through literally a sausage maker. I mean, he's ground down to come out that, to that final thing where the 3, 2, 1, the pressure's on, and you forget that was a live event. He got handed a punch of paper read from cards, and it was, there's no 15-second pause. It's on, and here it is. Your whole career, your whole life, your families, your moral judgment, your everything. It's down to this. Sitting in a room with propped up on books, the tables. Ted's journey of his own moral choice and the choices that he made. To walk away from the car. To not stop at Dyke House and knock on the door or make a phone call at the bridge. It's a full-on journey of how he justified this to himself and worked it out, or how he decided he wanted to live, or what he was going to come around to. Picks up the phone. Even the phone when he goes to the police station, he calls the mother because he does know it's the right thing to do, to call her up first and tell her rather than somebody else. So there's just so much turmoil and up and down in Ted before we get to the very end. And then I think that's also reflected in society. How does society process this like it does and still then continue to vote him in?
Right, and he still had to keep this public face up, which was so brilliantly portrayed when you would walk down the street and he's ruminating about something.
Well, yeah, he was Ted Kennedy. He wasn't used to this. Is anybody ready for the fact that you've gone away from a party, having a good night? It's been a year since your brother's been shot dead in the head in front of everybody. You're catching up with some people that work passionately on his thing. You've had a sailing boat. You're relaxed coming away from Washington, and all of a sudden, bang! You're upside down in the bottom of a pond, coming out. And then where's the girl? And then it's dark and cold and wet. That was an hour. I walked that walk in the night. It's an hour and a half back to the house. Gives you a lot of time to think.
Have we learned anything about this incident in terms of how we view a tragedy, how we view a scandal?
Have we as a society? No. No, I don't think so, no.